Now let's talk square root inequalities. Just as a reminder, we have those transformations for the square root function. Those transformations still apply if it's an inequality versus if it's an equation. Another thing to remember is if you have strictly less than or strictly greater than in your inequality, you're going to use dashed lines. If you have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you're going to use solid lines. If it's less than or equal to, we're going to shade below our graph. Greater than or greater than or equal to, we will shade above. So let's get into some graphing. First, we're going to list the transformations, and then we'll graph. We have f of x is less than negative square root of x plus 2 minus 4. That negative that's in front of the square root tells us we're going to reflect. The plus 2 on the inside tells us we're going to the left 2 for our new starting point. The negative 4 tells us our new starting point goes down 4. So from the origin, we're going to the left 2 and down 4. There's our starting point, negative 2, negative 4. Now, since we have this negative out front, all of these ups are going to change to downs, but since it's just a negative 1, the numbers aren't going to change. Now we'll be going to the right 1 and down 1, right 4, down 2, and so on and so forth. So from our starting point, right 1, down 1, right 4, down 2, right 9, down 3, and that's all I have room for. Now is where we pay attention to our sign. We have strictly less than, so we're going to use dashed lines to graph. And it's less than, so we're going to shade everything that is directly below our graph, just below the graph. So that's going to be everything directly underneath that dashed line. Nothing above it, nothing that's like outside of it, just directly below. For our domain, the farthest to the left that this graph gets is negative 2. And then it's going to the right forever. The lowest that this graph gets is negative infinity because our arrow is pointing downward. And then it comes all the way up to negative 4. Let's look at another one. Y is greater than or equal to 3 times the square root of x minus 3. We're going to have a vertical stretch by 3 units, and our new starting point is going to go to the right from the origin by 3 units. So we're at 3, it didn't go up or down any, so we're at 3, 0. Then this number out front changes all of our up values. They're going to stay up, it's not going to change to down, but all of those numbers we're going to be going up by different amounts. So now we'll go to the right 1 and up 3, to the right 4 and up 6, 2 times 3, to the right 9 and up 9, to the right 16 and up 12. From our starting point, go to the right 1, up 3, to the right 4 and up 6. This is going way off the graph. Look how tall this graph is, that's all I have room for. Now this one's greater than or equal to, so we have a solid line going through our points. And since it's greater than, we're going to shade everything that's directly above our graph. The domain here is from 3 to infinity. The range is from 0 to infinity. F of x is greater than 1/2 the square root of x plus 5 plus 1. We're going to compress by 1/2. We're shifting to the left 5 and up 1. There's our new starting point at negative 5, 1. This 1/2 changes our up movement, so now we're going to go up by 1/2, up by 1, by 3 halves, and by 2. So then we go to the right 1 and up just a tiny little bit, to the right 4 and up 1, to the right 9 and up 1.5. 3 halves is 1.5, and then we would go to the right 16, and so on and so forth. This one is strictly greater than, so we have a dashed line, and we want everything that's greater than our graph, so we're going directly above our graph, shading that entire region. The domain here, from left to right, is -5 to infinity, and our range is from 1 to infinity.